Hello! Today I'm taking a break from playing Pokemon for my viewers to start a new series, Pokemon Fundies, a series will be taking over the most basic Pokemon mechanics. Today episode is on types, and even for a simple topic, there's a lot to dig into. So these videos will be divided into sections, from total beginners to much more experienced players. First, every Pokemon can have up to two typings, and they mostly are what you will expect. Ferrothorn is a grass steel Pokemon, and Dragonite is Dragon Flying. There are some exceptions to the rule, so I recommend checking the small on page of every Pokemon whose typing is clear to you. Every type has at least other type that can hit it super effectively and resist it. There's a chat with every type interaction that you can memorize, but I personally don't recommend doing so. It's much simpler to just get used to it and only check it if necessary. Another thing about typing is something that a competitive thing is called stab, or same type attack bonus, which gives you a 50% damage bonus in all attacks that share typing with your Pokemon, and Terra, which gives you another 50% boost in damage. Until this point, I refer to typing as if were all equal, but they couldn't be further from the truth. Some typings are much better than others. The clear front runners are Water, Steel, and Fairy. Fairy and Water are both great balanced typings, having a great super effective resistance ratio, only having 3 types that resist them while still having a great defensive typing, only having 2 types killing them for super effective damage. While Steel is a defensive typing, resisting 10 types and being immune to 1. And for the two worst typings are Bug and Ice. First, Bug is just bad, like purely bad. Its offense is extremely mediocre, having 6 times resisting its attack, and defensively only has 3 resistances, 2 of them are put against pretty mediocre typings. Ice, the other worst typing, is the embodiment of Hyperosset, with only 1 resistance to itself and hitting 4 types for super effective damage, which sounds like a good idea for a good type, maybe not a great one, but sadly gets wild by steel types and most ice types over generation have been either walls that fail miserably or bulk attackers that also fail miserably. And lastly, I want to give a small reviews to all other typings. Dragon used to be the best typing until the introduction of the fairy, but it's still a great offensive typing. Ground is in this spot almost purely for Earthquake, which gives him a strong stab attack, and they're good defensively. Fire is a balanced typing having both great offensive and defensive covered properties. Electric is a great special offensive typing thanks to its universal access to Thunderbolt, paired with not so many weaknesses. Flying is a physical offensive typing now thanks to its almost universal access to Brave Bird, but it's also a pretty fragile one. Dark types are the point where they start to get pretty mediocre. It's good defensively and has some good offensive capabilities, but it doesn't have enough of neither to be great. Ghost is like Dark in a way, but it's mostly offensive typing. Still not very good though. Psychic is also a very fragile type whose offense isn't good enough to make up for it. Fighting is another Pokemon with offense that aren't good enough for its relative poor resistances. Poison is a pretty good defensive typing, but absolutely terrible offensively. It can wall a lot of things, but it gets walls a lot in return. Normal is the point where typing start to blow. Very mediocre offensively and no resistances, with only one immunity. The downward spiral continues with Grass, a type that is both very fragile and pretty poor offensively. Some key types that can hit super effectively Savage for being the bottom 3. And the last typing is Rock, the third worst typing. It's clearly intended to be a defensive typing, but it has too many weaknesses to very common types, so it's bad at its niche and it's terrible at offensively. And that's the first episode of Pokemon Fundies. Leave a like and if you enjoyed it, and, and if you haven't learned something, and subscribe for more videos like this. Goodbye.